Hello everyone, my name is Stigmaster and welcome back to another video. So today's video, guys, is a lot different to my usual type. Usually I do a tutorial or something like that, but I wasn't sure what to make today, so I said I'd just start building and I'll make a time-lapse out of it. So I'm going to try and make a ruined ancient tower sort of thing. So the first thing I did was make a circle in the ground, and then I started at first going layer by layer, but I realized that wouldn't work. Then I tried to do one section of wall at a time, and that really wasn't working out either. So I went right up to the top of the tower, and did the full circle there, and I would just start pillaring up for each column. So I tried different techniques for getting it up, but it really depended on what section of the wall I was doing. So this was the most long-winded part, but I knew that before I started, so yeah. Now I started doing the ruining first of all, but now what I've decided to do is when I finish the wall made it completely of stone, I will go around and knock out bits of it and put in different things. Now I use moss cobblestone towards the bottom of it, but I realize now that that's not a particularly good block. It doesn't really suit in with moss stone bricks, so what I did there is I got some grey concrete. Now this actually doesn't show up that much if you look at it from a distance, but if you're wandering around you'll definitely notice it. As you can see here, I'm getting in some bricks, cracked bricks, moss bricks, and stairs. So the stairs are actually used to make it look like bricks are missing from it, but at the same time it doesn't leave too much of a gap. So out of the bits I've added in, there's more bricks than anything else, but the wall seems to be mainly made of stone. So as you can see there, I just took out the moss stone because that really didn't work. And now the next gap here, I think, should be the last bit. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, this should be the last bit of stone bricks, and then we'll be moving on to andesite and cobblestone. Now unfortunately the andesite didn't show up as much as I hoped, but there's not much I can do about that. So now I have to go around the bottom of the build and knock out a bit of the stone because it looked too plain. So I added in bricks, andesite, and some cobblestone. So now I have to take out the grass in the middle, and I just took a speed potion there. So as I break the grass, I'd be able to keep up, and it'll be quicker to break it this way. So this didn't take too long, but I thought it would. And now I just need to put in the floor. So I'm just randomly placing in some stone bricks, going around the place, filling in a few gaps. But then I got the moss bricks and the cracked bricks and put them in. So I said this wouldn't look ruined enough, so I put in a few stairs and slabs to look like parts of the floor were missing, and then I punched out large holes and filled them up with water. After this then, I made a few piles of rubble on the floor, once again to add a bit more of a ruined state to it. So now I need to start adding in the staircase. So if I'd made the stairs from slabs, then I would have gone the whole way round. But I decided that would be a bit too much, so I just put in stairs and I would reach the top halfway through a rotation. So at first I tried to make the roof out of slabs, but then I realized there was only one type of brick slab, so I went for the full blocks. And this is harder than the floor because I couldn't have the huge chunks of water, so I had to make sure everything was, there wasn't too much of cracked bricks or too much of moss bricks. So the stairs and slabs became more important here. So yeah, you can see here I'm filling in little bits, with slabs and stairs. So now I need to work out how I'm going to light the place up. So you can see I have a torch, an item frame, and some stone slabs. So what I do is I place the torch, then I place the item frame behind it, and then I put the stone into the item frame, and that'll make it look like a holder. So then I put in some cobblestone walls with torches on top of them. Now I'm actually a bit behind what's happening here, so I decided to ruin the stairs a bit. You know, so it looks a bit too perfect. So I put a few pillars in behind it, so it didn't look like it was just floating. So now I'm putting in a few more piles of rubble actually on the ceiling. Now I was going to add in pillars, but in the end I decided I'd just leave it at that and make it like the pillars fell down. That's the iron gate in there. So now I'm just having a ring around the top of the tower, and I'm going to put in some cobblestone walls and some moss stone walls. Now, I'm not entirely happy with the colour of the moss stone walls. Like I said earlier, it's not a nice green, but it'll have to do because there's no other variants of the cobblestone wall. So now for the centre, I'm going to have an end crystal so it looks like some sort of ancient artifact. Now obviously this isn't possible in survival mode because you need bedrock to put it on. I think. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so I decided the shape of the tower was too perfect, so I started to add pillars on the outside. And this just gave it a more natural look. It was too circular at first. So I'm just making this completely out of stone bricks. I was going to ruin it, but in the end I decided that the video was going to be long enough without having that in as well. So this is the last pillar here, I do believe. And once again, I still thought it looked a bit flat. So I decided I would add a ring around it. And now I'm going to add some stairs underneath, so it looks like it's extruding out of the tower instead of just, you know, being there. So now for the end crystal again, I'm going to put obsidian around it so it looks like the end crystal is sort of releasing some sort of dark energy or something. So yeah, that actually came out better than I expected. And now just for the last few touches, I added in some bone meal around the outside so long grass and flowers come up, and I put vines along the inside. So this is the finished build. So you can see we can go in through the gate just about. And it's quite a high ceiling. I'm not entirely sure how high it is, but it's pretty high. So here's a quick look around. So now we're going to go up the stairs, and you'll see that there's a lot of blocks missing from it, and that just really adds to the whole feel of the build. So yeah, there's a huge gap there, and you know, I'm not even sure if that's possible just to walk up that section there. So yeah, that's the ancient artifact that we have going on. And yeah, this is the way you'd see the build. Now here is just an aerial view of it, even though you've probably seen it from this angle pretty much the entire build, but here's a slow pan around it so you get a good idea of what it's meant from. Like I said, you can't even see the concrete or the andesite, but you know, it's not my best build, but you know, it could be a lot worse. If you did think it's good, then please leave a like, it really helps. Leave a comment if you have any suggestions for a future video, or if you want to see more of this type. Don't miss any of my videos by hitting that subscribe button. And yeah, that's the ancient tower in 9.5 minutes. Okay, Stigmaster out.